Okay, so the first step to selling 1,000,000 books in one day is to make sure that you tell everybody who subscribes to your podcast to buy it. Now, obviously, you have tens of millions of people following your award-winning podcast, so if you want a fraction of them purchase, you're definitely going to get that orange sticker, okay? Blurbs, bro, you got to get your blurbs. Front of the book, back of the book, middle of the book, all over the book, blurbs. Just ask the people in your 10K a month mastermind. They'll hook you up, bro. Okay, so the next way that you're going to sell 1,000,000 books in one day is that you have to make sure it's linked into your funnel. Okay, now you all know about this from my course Fun with Funnels, and make sure you're also in my exclusive mastermind so you can learn all about how to link this in. Off to the beach now. You want to sell 1,000,000 copies of your book? You need a forward written by a top influencer like me. Just hit up my Patreon premium level. I got you. Okay, that was a lot of fun to film and have a good time, kind of poking fun at some of these stereotypes of gurus and influencers out there. And to be fair, not all of this is bad advice, although some of it does straight up violate Amazon's terms and conditions. It can get you booted. But in general, I see a lot of videos and podcasts and blog posts out there with this title or something similar, right? And people who are new authors are desperate to be successful, but they're defining success as just book sales or a dollar number. And if you are just looking for dollars, you picked the wrong hobby. Sorry. The person who is sharing this information on these like very clickbaity posts probably has the best of intentions, right? Or they know the content that will get them a lot of clicks. But here's the thing, unless that influencer or personality is in your exact niche, you need to take a big, huge, giant grain of salt with that advice. I've worked with authors who are about to launch their very first fiction book, and they mention on such and such podcast, I heard that we need to do XYZ. Well, that podcast is about business and entrepreneurship. So that advice best applies to a nonfiction book with someone who is publishing exclusively on KDP. Is that your strategy? If it's not, okay, then you need to try to dissect and dive into that strategy and see how it could work for you. You don't just take it hook, line, and sinker. Obviously, if you have an existing audience with a newsletter, a podcast, a YouTube channel, of course, tell them about your book. If you have other content that relates to your book, then of course, let people know where they can read more from you. If a credible name in your area of expertise, whether it be personal finance or psychological thrillers, has read your book and loved it, then yes, ask to quote them on the back of your book or as a blurb. Please, 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 do not take the advice of one influencer or one person who had a book published for them by someone else and expect that their secret formula is going to work for you. First of all, just don't compare yourself in the sales to someone who didn't hit publish until they had 1,000,000 subscribers on their newsletter. Do you know how many people are in your audience? Then do you have that many people in your audience? Then stop comparing. Focus on writing a quality book. Take the time to make a plan that works for you and your book, and don't sweat the rest. Please, please, please ignore the clickbaity videos and titles like this one. Come on, 1,000,000 books in one day. Let's be realistic about book royalties here. Unless you're Stephen King, in which case I would love to know how you're selling so many books. We should talk. All right, so if you found this video helpful, at least funny, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit subscribe. That way you can be here every week as I release new videos on self-publishing and making a career out of being an author. Now you can get back to writing your book. Don't listen to scammy influencers who had people publish their book for them.